Berserk, Vinland Saga, Vagabond, all three of these stories are considered the best of the best. Hell, even the best. I mean, the art in all three of these looks so fucking good that it makes you question your sexuality. I didn't know Zod could look so manly. And look at that body transformation from the king. He went from I'll bring her back by 10 to you better buy a wheelchair because you're gonna need it when I'm done. I mean, if he can go from this to that, this is the only gym motivation you need. But as amazing as all three of these mangas are, something's missing from this list. A manga that's been left out, like that one weird kid with the Kermit the Frog backpack. We've all met one of those kids. This is despite being just as good and lovable as the other three. And the manga I'm talking about is Caillou, No More Diapers. Kingdom is a manga that's fucking breathtaking. You flip a page and there's just body parts flying all around. The characters vary from looking like The Rock cubed on steroids to your local accountant, and still equally be able to put the fear of God in you. The story is intelligent. It makes you feel like you're watching two high-level chess players playing, but instead of playing with plastic pieces, they're playing with that dumb, mushy, crackhead brain of yours. And hundreds of thousands of dead men. You can go from beautiful moments and transition just as smoothly to dark, gut-wrenching themes. All of this is perfectly portrayed in legendary art. When I say it's up there with these three, I mean it. And yet, it's really not. You bring up Berserk or Vinland Saga and most people will know it instantly. But when you try to talk about Kingdom, it seems that barely anyone is able to recognize it. Why is that? I think it's because of its garbage beginning. Berserk starts off with Guts fucking, like the daddy he is. And Vinland Saga starts with daddy getting fucked. Kingdom just begins with two kids fucking around. The art is kinda shit and everyone has these weird ass Chinese names that are confusing as fuck to read. And then midway through the first arc, all the names change to English sounding ones as if they were all ethnically cleansed, which is even more confusing if you actually bothered remembering the names in the previous chapter. But if you can get through the first few chapters, what's waiting for you will be a spine-chilling story, the likes of which you'll hardly find anywhere else. It's not often in manga that actual retelling of historical events end up becoming more engaging than the fabled tale it comes from. And yet, Kingdom goes even further than that. It's about a king who desires to unite all of China and a peasant boy wishing to be the greatest general ever, coming across each other in their darkest times, promising to help the other fulfill their dreams. So basically, the plot of the Muppet Show. I remember the episode where Elmo took over Russia. The story is able to show you both perspectives, from the action-packed battle between hundreds of thousands of men through Shin's eyes, to the political strife that comes with taking over countries as an underaged king, the struggle of fighting armies 10 times stronger than you, and the struggles of trying to avoid getting absorbed through political mind games from your rivals. It balances both perfectly, like I balance my phone on my The strategies and war tactics used in this are really fucking intelligent and feel realistic. Do you know why? Because it is real. It's a historical tale, so all the events that take place in this roughly happen. These are strategies used by actual generals and people to mow down thousands of men with efficiency in the past. Granted, there weren't magical assassins or people so strong they could solo thousands of men, but there were people so intelligent and capable that they were deemed generals who could take out entire kingdoms by themselves. The story is mostly always told through battles. Most of the manga is war. There is no filler or, oh, I guess it's time to chill and get to know the characters by putting them in a cafe and doing an exposition dump, or a beach episode. Fuck, I hate that. But instead, it goes from one grueling battle to another equally or more important battle, while also being able to grow their characters and keep a hold on the entire plot. How many authors can truly do that? I get a midlife crisis trying to write down my groceries. In most stories, it's either fighting or chilling, not a mixture. And yet the characters in this are capable of showing development, while they're also being fisted in the ass by someone stronger and smarter than them. The story is good at doing this, but it wouldn't be possible without the badass cast of characters being this diverse yet equally threatening. The generals that fight each other in this are so fucking different that sometimes it really does feel like I'm watching The Undertaker fight Bill Gates, while Michael Jackson waits to ambush the winner. And it works. I'm sorry, I just have to thirst over the character designs. The art keeps getting better and better as the manga progresses, and so do these insane characters. The characters look exactly like you would expect their personality to make them look. Generals who torture and use underhanded means look menacing and eerie. Leaders who use intelligent tactics with efficiency have eyes that just pierce through your soul while they analyze every detail on the battlefield. Chads who say, fuck it, there's no need for tactics, I'll just kill everything that stands in my way, look exactly like they're meant to. Built different. I mean, there's even genuine crackheads in this that look like crackheads. It's not only their looks and personality that match each other and are fresh, but all of it is portrayed in the way they fight, in every move they make in the battlefield. I wouldn't expect this bald-headed old man to lead a charge on the front lines, but instead be the type of general who's clever, and that's what he shows as he decimates tens of thousands of men using his little schemes. But the beauty and the potential of this manga really comes through when two competent generals fight each other in their own ways. When a cruel thief goes up against an honorable general who fights in a manly way, you see the exact way you would expect it to play out. The horror honorable soldiers face as they see their comrades suffer, or the way this general has no idea how the fuck to deal with someone who doesn't fight him head on but instead sends him eyeballs of his fallen soldiers to terrify his army. And it does, putting him in a losing situation despite no major exchanges taking place. Matches of different fighting styles is always exciting, and there's another specific aspect of this manga which I fucking love, and that's the fact that it has men. None of this shit in most anime where it's little children fighting wars. Most anime characters look like pretty fuckboys so you can self-insert, but the characters in this look like fucking chads. Everyone's got a beard that makes them look like a whole ass Molana. They look like men who fight in wars, because that is what they do. You might be questioning me, do I only like these characters because they all look like Molvis? Yes. When me and the boys beat some kids in basketball at the masjid, but then the Molvis team comes through. The nice cherry on top of all of this is the sheer magnitude of the plot. Every single state has a capable general, every single king has their own goals, and every kingdom has their own political strife where their enemies watch closely to swallow them whole. Each of these kingdoms are given careful attention and distinct characters that make everything feel grand. There's so many turning cogs and pieces that are set up perfectly that when it all comes together to form a whole, you come. It's like One Piece in that sense, where every piece is set up and it comes together in one arc like the Whitebeard War arc. There's an arc just as good in Kingdom 2 where every single character introduced comes together in one giant event to fight with armies of millions. Even without arcs like that happening, it always feels like some kingdom, some general is looking to take advantage of the smallest weakness you may have. Like that one cockroach you were too scared to kill. You never know when it's gonna strike again. I'll quickly just mention, don't watch Kingdom. It's cursed the same way Berserk is in its anime adaptation, except somehow it's even worse. Just read it. Kingdom is far from over, even though it has 700 chapters and more. With stories so big like One Piece, a lot of the time, the little things can end up overshadowing the grand scheme of the plot. You can often forget the main reason the entire journey started in the first place, like when Naruto first said he'll become Hokage, or Luffy first declared he'll be a pirate king. The worlds can get so big that the simplest motivations start to seem insignificant when compared to complicated grand plots. But no matter how big, how insane the story gets, when we see characters accomplish what they said they would in the beginning, despite the world getting harder and harder, it reminds us of even our own dreams we promised ourselves long ago, without a doubt giving us the hope we need to be the best we can be. And that's exactly what Kingdom is best at doing. Anyway, Kingdom is awesome. You'll know if you read.